Hi, it's Mary at the Paper Turtle. Welcome to my channel, and welcome to our new adventure of creating a journal for you. This is going to be a giveaway journal. If you have not seen the first video where we made this beautiful cover, go ahead back and watch that one. It kind of tells you a little bit about what we're going to be doing in this. I don't know if it's really going to be a series or not, but in creating this journal, which will ultimately be a giveaway for one of you. In the last video, we made the cover. Today, we're going to put together the signatures and sew them in. I've started by putting together a few basic pages that I didn't have to trim. I just folded them in half. We're going to do 3 signatures. So I have 3 signatures started. But I have other things here that are going to go into the signatures that I have to cut down to the right size. And I'm going to include some envelopes. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with those. But first, what I want to do... Let me get my bearings here. I have 3 pieces of scrapbook paper. Let me just set this aside. I like it. It's just me. It's just the way that I like to do it. I like the first page of each signature to be kind of a heavier cardstock, and I like to use scrapbook paper. That has writing on the back. I didn't realize, but that's okay. And I like that first page to be like the biggest page. So all the other pages tuck inside of it. It's just the way I like to do mine. It doesn't have to be done that way. You don't have to do yours that way. It's just what I like to do. So what I do is I measure to see the largest size that I want my paper. So I'm measuring from the spine to the edge, and it comes to about 7.5. But I don't want them to be any bigger than, let's say, 7 and a, you know what, 7.25. So we're going to do 7.25, and I'm going to write this down because I will forget. I just have to remember to look at my notes. Okay, so 7.25 wide. The book is 10.5, so I want 10.25 high, I believe. 10.25 is going to be about there. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so I don't want any of my papers to be any bigger than 7.25 by 10.25. So that's what I'm going to make the scrapbook paper that will be the first page of each signature. And you don't have to do yours that way. You can do yours however you normally do them. Or if you want to just kind of, you know, think a little outside the box and do them another way, then do them another way. Now, here's where the tricky part comes in. If you take a piece of scrapbook paper, which is 12 by 12, and you fold it in half, your width is 6 inches. But I want it to be 7.25. Okay, so what do I do about that? I have a trick. I need to find... Where did I do with that paper? I have a little trick that I do, and it involves 2 pieces of scrapbook paper. I'm not going to use the same paper though. I think I'll use this one. Oh, maybe I'll use that one. All right, first I want to cut the height, which is 10 1/4. So which way do I want my paper to go in the book? Do I want it to go this way, or do I want it to go this way? I think I want it to go this way. So this needs to be 10 1/4. So we're just going to turn it this way and go 10 1/4. All right. That's the height. Now, my width, I need 7 1/4 on each side. So what I'm going to do is I am going to score at 7 1/4. This is how I score. I use my cutter. If you have a scoreboard, you can use that, but I use my cutter. I just measure it out, and then I use one of these little thingies to score right down the cutting line. I don't have a scoreboard, so this works for me. So there's my my fold. Which way do I want to fold it? It doesn't really matter. Where did it go? Doesn't really matter which way you fold it. You know, you're going to see both sides in your journal anyway. So here we have one side that's 7 1/4, but now the other side is short, right? That's where this comes into play. And this is going to get put at some point in here to make this, extend this page to 7 1/4. But first, I need to make it the right height. Just easier to work with if you trim it off first. Okay. Then I need to decide how I want to do it. There's a couple different ways that you can do this. And one of the ways that I think that I'm going to do this one is, notice over here, we have some writing on the back side of the paper. We're going to cover that up one way or another. That's going to get covered up. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover it up with this. And I think I'm going to make this into a pocket. So this will get glued on here. And then we have writing on this side. I'll do it this way. All right, what I'm contemplating right now, so I'm going to glue this here so that there's going to be a side pocket there, right? Then on this side, it's going to get folded over. I can either fold it over so it's 7 1/4 wide, or I can cut it so that it's 7 1/4 wide. But I think, just for interest's sake, I'm going to fold it. And then we'll figure out what we can do with this printing over here. So, the first thing that I'm going to do, let's get that out of my way. I'm going to glue this onto here. I need a glue paper for underneath here. This isn't the best one because it's not really big, but we're going to use it anyway. And I think that I want it to come out to, let's say 2 1/4 inches, 2 1/2. That can't really tell from that. That's 2 1/2. That's 2¼ Let's do 2¼ inches. So I'm just going to mark on my paper right here 2¼ inches. That's so I know where to start the glue. And 2¼ inches. And I'm just going to run a line of glue, just as if I were putting on a side pocket. Just along there, along my back. And along here. Then I'm going to lay my paper whichever direction you want to do it. Now remember, we already cut our 10¼ this way, so we want to make sure we've got the paper in the right direction. And you just lay it on there so that it's nice and straight. That looks pretty straight to me. All lined up there. So there's that side, we have that pocket. Now on the other side, we need to measure and score 7¼ from the fold. I actually don't want the fold under there. Well, you don't even really need to measure, because you have your, I'm going to do it this way. You have the end of your page there already, so you know where it is. So that's 7¼ and I'm going to score right along the page line. Flip it over, and that's going right there. Now, I think for me that's a little bit too long, because I think that's going to interfere. So I'm just going to cut a little strip of this off. And it doesn't matter how much. I'm just going to do like maybe an inch. Yeah. All right, so what we have, which I didn't do exactly straight, but that's okay. We'll fix it. And it doesn't have to be perfect either. Okay, so what we have is this page is going to fold up like this. We'll decorate this. And then on this side, we have a little tuck spot. I could have done that differently too. There's different ways that you can do this. Basically what we're doing is we're taking two pieces of scrapbook paper and putting them together to make our page wide enough, because one piece isn't wide enough. So what that's going to do, it's going to be a full, almost like a cover for my signature. These will get trimmed down. And when you put it in here, it's just the right height, I hope, and the right width. So that's just kind of what I do. You don't have to do it that way, but you can if you want to. Now, I am going to be short a piece of scrapbook paper. That's okay. I'll find one. I will find one. For this, I want to use another one of these. I have another one. That's going to be my other page. Where did I put those? Oh, darn it. I didn't mean to have to be looking. guess I wasn't as prepared as I thought I was. It's okay. I bought a whole pack of these at Tuesday morning not too long ago. That's not it. That is not the same paper. Where's this paper? Huh. Oh, did I put it somewhere different? It should be right here. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be doing this. I thought I was very prepared, but it turns out not. And I don't know where that paper is. Alright, I'm going to use this one with this, and then I will use that one with something else. I got it. I got it under control. Okay. So, since I've already thought that page out, this one should go a little bit quicker. 10 1/4. I'm going to cut that part off so I don't need to worry about it. 10 1/4 high. 7 1/4 wide. Oh, this paper's thinner. Okay. Then 10 1/4 10 1/4 high. Now, what do we want to do with this one? That's going to be one page. I could put, let's see, we did this the last time. Make that the pocket. I just cover that whole side. If I do it halfway, make a side pocket there. No, I wouldn't be able to make the side pocket there. I think I'm going to cover this whole thing, this whole side, and then make the side pocket on the other side. Just to do something different. I think this video is going to take a little bit longer than I anticipated because I didn't think about having to put these papers together. I'm going to try to get through it fairly quickly so that we can get to sewing these signatures in. And then the journal will be made. Then all we have to do is decorate it and make all the fun stuff to go in it. Alright, so I'm going to do this right almost to the fold line there. Not quite to it, but almost to it. That looks straight. That seems to be pretty straight. Is that what I wanted to do? No, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to make this side a pocket. All right, well, the next one. We have one more we have to do. Well, that didn't work out exactly the way I wanted it to. All right. So we can either, again, fold this side or cut this side. I could fold it and make it a pocket over here. Or make it just a flap, because I like this. I'm going to make it just a flap, so I'm just going to fold that. So again, I'm going to just score it. This should be 7 1/4 right here. And I think I'm going to do it just in from it, just a little bit, just a tad. Like that. Well, I hope you can all see what I'm doing. Sometimes I watch my videos back and I realize my camera was too close or I'm out of frame or something. And you know, you can't go back and redo this kind of stuff. So you just got to go for it and hope it's... I don't have the fancy setup where I can, like, I have another screen where I can see what I'm doing. I'm just using my cell phone and it's up there. And okay, so this one's just going to be a fold out like that. We have to think when we do this next one, how we want this next one to end up being. I'm going to show you the papers in here after. I'm just trying to get this one page done so that we can get the rest of these signature pages together and get it sewed in. All right, so this needs to be 10 1/4. 10 1/4, right? Check my notes. Check my notes. Yes, 10 1/4. Gosh, I do that all the time. Okay. There's my 10 1/4. And I'm going to use another one of these pages. This one. So I want it to go this way. And then this one, let's see, where would 7 1/4 be? We've got it right here. Or right there. If I do it right there, this is the short side. I could do it against the blue, and that's kind of pretty. I'm going to do it there. Okay, 7 1/4. It's actually right along this line right here. Which, you know, I can never do. I must be like, my vision or my head tilt or something must be crooked. Because I can't do anything straight. I can't cut straight. I can't, even if I have a guide, it doesn't go straight. I don't know why. I think I'm like tilted. I'm crooked. Okay, this one. I need to cover that up. So that's going to be there. This is going to be here. And I can make a pocket, or I might just cut it. I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm just going to cut it, because there's nothing like fancy on this side. So I'm going to cut it, and I'm going to make this a pocket here, like that. So I'm going to go, I hope I measure this right. You know, I'm not always the best at measuring stuff. 7 1/4 here is where I'm going to cut it. And I'm going to make the pocket. See, is that how I want it? That's not how I want it, because then the pocket ends up in the middle of the page. I just want to glue the sides, right? Help me think this out here. If I just glue the sides, I'm going to have the pocket, which will go all the way to the... No, something will fall out because I don't have a back. I would have to... What if I glue this on here, right? And then fold it this way at 7 1/2. And do something. And I'd have a flip out. All right, this is what I think I'm going to do. Make sure I'm still at 7 1/4 here. Is it 7 1/4 or 7 1/2? 7 1/4. Okay. Oh boy. I should have thought about this a little bit better. See, now I'm at 7. 7 1/4 right there. So that's 2 1/4. So from 2 1/4, oh, I can't see. 2 1/4. All right. That's what I'm going to do. I don't know. I should have thought about this and done this this part ahead of time, because now I'm probably just confusing everything. Again, basically what we're doing is we are gluing 2 pieces of 12 by 12 together to make the right size paper to go in the signature. But for some reason, I hadn't thought it through enough, and I am getting myself all mixed up about what I want to do. There's different things that you can do when you put these 2 12 by 12 pieces of paper together. And you know, you just use your, oh boy, use your imagination and come up with something creative, really, is what it's all about. I wanted to do 3 different things, but I wasn't thinking right or something. Okay, so here's one page. So this page, I think I'm going to fold up. So again, I have to score it at 7 1/4, which is this way. All right. Boy, that was like a lot of hard work just to do that. Wow. All right, we're past that now. Okay. Now, the other paper that I want to put in the signatures is, I have this book that I picked up at an estate sale. It's gift wraps by artists, and it's like pictures of 18th century textile paintings. This is a really cool book. Some of them were torn out, but it has this really pretty wrapping paper. And I wanted to use some of this. But when I really looked at it and thought about using it, it's very thin. So I think I'm not going to use that. But back here, there's these pieces of wrapping paper that are the same idea, I think. They were stuck in the back of the book, and they're thicker. So I'm going to use these. So I've picked out this one. I did do this ahead of time. This one. And it wasn't this one. Which one did I like? Is it that one? No. I thought I picked out 3. Boy, I am like so not together this morning. And I really thought I was, because I had maybe this one. That's what we're going with. I actually sat in my room here before I started this video, pulling things together, thinking about things, and getting myself ready to go. And I start working, and it's like my head exploded. I can't do it. Okay, these are folded. I'm going to try to work with the folds that are already there. So they're about just under 10 inches by about 9 1/2. So I'll have to trim it a little bit, but that's okay. I'm going to just use this fold right here. Yeah. And because it's tall, sorry, I'm going to have to cut it with my scissors. Now, the only reason I'm saying I'm sorry is because, again, I can't cut straight. Even though I am cutting on an established fold line. Yep, that's nice and crooked. Okay, so I have this, but it has to be, you know, 7 1/4. I'm going to cut all 3 of these and then I'll trim them. That one is, yeah, I'm just cutting it on the fold line. It's just easier, and then I'll trim it. I'm not real worried about conserving paper because I have a lot of this stuff. Well, enough of it that if I were to use it all, I'd get sick of using it. So if little pieces of it don't get used, I'm okay with that. I'm probably going to run this through the cutter just to even it up because, yeah, I'm not cutting straight at all. It's awkward, you know, it's so big. I only have so much space to work with here. I think this one's really pretty. So in picking the papers for the signature pages, I wanted a variety of different types of paper and different things. So we've got some book paper in there. We've got some just regular, like, office paper. And then I have a couple of other different kinds of paper. I'll show you in a minute what we have. Oh my gosh, this is awful. You probably can't even see me. Okay. Ooh, that's done. Let me get these cut down to size here. All right. I cut along here, so I'm going to just trim that. That is, because that's, what am I measuring here? That's the height. Yeah, that's the height, and it's less than 10 1/4, so that works. But I'm going to just trim it because it was not a very straight cut there. And then this one has to be 7. Here's our fold. Is nope. Look at that. See, I was going to screw it up. This one, this is the height. Oh my gosh. Okay, here's our fold. So this needs to be 7 1/4. So we're going to go just below 7 1/4 because I don't want it to stick out beyond my paper that we just cut that is exactly 7 1/4. So I'm going just a little smaller than 7 1/4. Folds on this side. So we're going 7 1/4, a little bit smaller. And these don't all have to be the exact same size. And 10 1/4, it's smaller than, so I'm just going to trim it up so that it's straight. This one, the fold is there. So we're going, I'm just trying to see which end is straighter here. 7 1/4, a little less than. And I'm gonna actually trim up both ends on this one. It seems to be a little bit uneven or wrinkly or something down here, so I'm just gonna kind of clean it up a little bit. Right, like that. There. Okay, that's those. I need to keep this because we're going to be using it. So those are the right size. I also have to go in here. I'm going to use my other cutter for this because this is quilting graph paper. And I'm going to fold it in half because it is not too wide. So it ends up being about 6 1/4 wide, which is fine. And then we want to cut it down to less than 10 1/4 high. And I think I'm going to use this cutter because I think I can get through all the pages. But I have to measure it because the cutter doesn't measure that long. So about less than 10 1/4. Let's do it right around 10. This line right here is 10 inches, so we'll do it there. And this cutter cuts through all the pages nicely. I had 3 pages there. Actually 6 because it was folded. And then one more. I have these are pages from a paint book, a watercolor book. These are going to get folded in half. They are 6 inches wide, so I don't need to cut them. And they're 9 inches tall, so I really don't need to cut them. Now, what do you think? Should I leave the page ragged like this? It looks kind of cool. Or should I cut it? And if I leave it, should it be at the top or the bottom? I think the top, because it's going to get less, you know, when you turn your pages, you tend to turn them from the bottom. And I'm afraid if this is at the bottom, it's going to get too raggedy, too pulled on. So I'm going to leave that at the top of the page. And I think that'll just give it a little bit of interest and look kind of cool up there. So now we have all the signature pages, and we'll put those together. But before we do, we need to work with the envelopes that we're going to put in. Now, there's a couple ways you can put an envelope in, and we're going to do the different ways, because we have one for each signature. The first way is to fold the envelope in half and use it as just a small signature page. So that's what I'm going to do with one of them. When you do that, one added extra little thing that you have to do is you have to cut your flap along the fold line. Otherwise, you won't be able to open it up. And it's very hard to do once it's already sewn in. So you want to do it before you sew it into your signature. And I'm just doing it just a tiny little bit to the right of the fold. to the top fold line, and then a tiny little bit to the left of the fold. Don't worry if it's not exactly even, because these are going to be on opposite ends of the signature. They won't be next to each other, so nobody's going to compare if one is wider than the other one. Does not matter. And then snip that off right there. So when these are in your signature, they're going to be able to open and close very nicely. And I think, where's my fold? Yeah, that should work. But one other thing that I want to do on these, just because, again, just my own thing, you don't have to do it. You can even do something different. I'm going to snip off the end of the flap just to make it rounded, just because I like this look better than this look. You don't have to do that. You could even come over here and use like decorative scissors and cut across there or something. In fact, let me just show you what you can do. You don't have to do the same thing on each side. Not those. Oh, I don't have any here. I'm not going to do it because I have to go hunt down scissors. I don't have any right here. But you could take a pair of decorative scissors and cut along here, or a edge punch and cut along here, just as long as you have it below your pocket there, so that when it's closed, it's covering the top of your pocket. Unless you want to cut it way up here, you could cut it way up here. You can do whatever you want. Be creative and you know, do something. Okay, or don't do anything. You can leave it just the way it was. So that's one envelope. This envelope, I'm going to sew it in so that this is the signature. This is where it's going to be sewn in. Like, it'll be like this. This is a page. This is a page. This is a page. So to do that, and then this will be a pocket. To do that, I don't have to do anything to this. I can put it in like it is. This one, what do we want to do with this one? This one, what we're going to do, we're going to seal it. These are all just different ideas for using envelopes in your journals. I'm going to seal it right along the seal line there. So that it is a closed envelope. Now I chose these envelopes because I liked the size of them. They're a little bigger than a regular little sized envelope. And I like the color. Just throws a little bit of color into the journal. I like color in my journals. We're going to do that, and then one side we're going to cut across the top and make it a pocket. So we're just going to cut a very, very thin line off the top of the envelope to the center. Again, remember these are going to be two different pages in your journal. So they don't have to be the same on both sides. I didn't cut straight again. What is wrong with me? And then I am going to, because that's going to be a pocket, I'm going to make a little notch in it. So we have a pocket. Now, once it's in the book, we can decorate it. I'm not going to worry about decorating it at the moment. I'm just fixing it so that it's, I don't have to do this fumbly stuff while it's in the journal. So that side we have pocket at the top. This side we're going to do the same thing, only it's going to be on the side. There's our pocket. And I'm putting the notch, sometimes when I have, like if I have a pocket on a page, say here's my page, and I'm putting a pocket on it right here. I just notch, you know, obviously the top of it. But these I'm notching through both sides of it, because when it's in your book, you're going to see both sides of it, obviously. All right, so 3 envelopes going into the journal 3 different ways. Now we have all our pages. Now we need to put them all together. I'm just going to get this stuff out of the way so that we can see what we're doing. Yes, these will be saved for future embellishments. Not the tiny parts. Not these. I don't save everything. Okay. Now we're going to put these together the way that we want them. And then sew them in. Whew. Boy, I didn't think it would take so long to get to this point. No, we're not done yet. I have to trim these. This piece right here needs to be trimmed. And I think, yep, just this piece. Oh, where's my cutter? To 7 1/4, just under 7 1/4. That's that one. Now when you do your signature pages, you can do it, you know, however you want. If you want everything sticking out at different sizes and stuff, that's perfectly fine. There's, like we say a million times, there's no right or wrong way to do these things. This is just the way I happen to be doing it, and the next time I might do it a different way. I don't know. It's just what's hitting me as what I want to do this one. All right. This signature, let's see. I want it to be like this because this is going to be the top page. And that'll be at the back. So I want this. Then we have to decide what order you want your pages in. These papers I've just stuck in here randomly. So I'm going to order them now. But I need the ones we just cut. I need 1 envelope. Doesn't matter which one. 1 watercolor page. 1 quilt paper. And one wrapping paper. Alright, so this is going to be my top. So I think this is very plain. So I want a little bit of color to go there. Maybe. I feel like I have a lot of plain colored paper. Now, when we decorate it, of course, we're going to take it all up a notch. It might look kind of dull and plain right now, but it's not going to be when we're done with it, because we're going to get crazy. All right. I really didn't want these to all be the same size. So now you just arrange your paper in whatever order you want your paper to be. How about this one? Mix the color. So some of this paper, this is like a nice feeling, not quite handmade paper. It might be the elephant poo paper. I don't know. It might be the elephant poo paper. Have you used that? Paper made from elephant poo? It's nice. I know that sounds funny, but... Oh, we need this somewhere where it's going to show up nicely. How about on this pink? That's pretty. There we go. If you heard that scream, that's my husband's phone. It's really funny. He carries his phone in his back pocket in the stores and stuff, and that thing will go off, and people, everybody looks around and they say, "What was that? Did you hear that?" And he just stands there laughing because it is funny. It's the funniest thing. All right, let's see what we have here. I have to count them too. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm not going to count the envelope as a page. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I think I'm going to switch. What I like is to have something a little bit heavier, substantial in the middle, because that's where your stitching is going to come up, and I just think it holds better if there's something sturdy in the middle instead of like a lighter piece of paper or something kind of fragile like this one. Now this one, this is an old children's book, and I think I'm going to put some washi tape down there because if you can see, it's got kind of holes there, and it looks to me to be a bit fragile. So let me grab some washi tape, and this will be kind of like our first decor in the book. Let me do something wide. This one's nice and wide. Wide and with a little bit of color, a little bit of personality. That's what this journal is going to be all about, is going to be personality. And this will just reinforce it a little bit. Sometimes you want to put glue on your washi tape. I'm not going to worry about it right here because it's going to get sewn in anyway. There. And I do think I'm going to go ahead and put some on the back also. We'll do a different kind on the back just for variety's sake. I'm just trimming that off. And let's see, what can we do on here? Yeah. We have buildings. Sure, why not? Somebody sent me some washi tape in some mail the other day. It was a swap that I did in a Facebook group, and it's books. It's just stacked books. It's so cool. I love it so much. This one is buildings. There. Now that'll strengthen that a bit. Oh, look at that. That looks cool, huh? I like that against that. Okay. Let's put that back in here. So there is one signature. Then we need the second signature. That one's done. Put that there. And we need an envelope. And we need a painty page. A quilt page. And a wrapping paper. Alright, so this is the front. So let's see how we want to do this one. How about we do this one first? See, we're going to have to put some washi tape on this one too. I like to try to mix up the different sizes and the colors and just try to create as much interest flipping through the book as you can. But we put this guy in here. I don't know if I like that next to each other. How about this one? That might go good with the green. Okay. Let's see what we have here. This one. This needs some color in here, I think. There, that's better. Now, when you are putting your signatures together, if you have something that has, you know, like a right way and a wrong way, like printing on it. I don't know if I have anything on this. This one is sideways, so it doesn't matter. Like this. If you have printing on your page that you want to go right side up, just make sure that they're all going, like this one goes this way and this is going this way. One of the most common mistakes is sewing your signature in upside down. I've done it. Many people have done it. And once you do it once or twice, then you remember to check every single time. Alright, so here's the page that needs the washi tape. So let's see what other kinds of washi tape we can put in here. Something wide. Could do this one. That's not as colorful. We could do this one. That's colorful. I'll do that one. And what's something fun? What's something fun? I'm also looking for something that's wide. Here, how about that? So, I'm telling you, this book is going to have so many different things in it. There's no theme. There's no color scheme. There's not going to be making sure everything coordinates, and it's just going to be fun. Okay. How are we doing on time? I bet we're really running long. Yep, it's been an hour. I really wanted to get these signatures sewn in, but this is going to end up being like a 50 million hour long video. So I think I'm going to stop the video just simply because of the time. And I'm going to put together the third signature. And then I will come back and I will film sewing it in. Okay, so I'm just going to let you go now, and we have two complete signatures ready to go in, and I'm going to finish the third one and get that one ready, and then I'll come back and maybe I'll put these videos back to back. I don't know. I'm going to continue working when I shut this off so that I don't break my momentum that I've got going here, but the video's too long. So thanks for watching. I hope you hung in there. Keep watching these series of videos, because this journal is going to be for one of you, and it's going to be fun as we go through and start doing the embellishments and decorating it and all of that stuff. So subscribe, hit that notification button so you know when I put a new video up, and we will see you in the next one. Bye bye.